The Canadian House of Commons made it official in 2007 to recognize and condemn the trafficking of women and children as modern-day slavery in Canada and abroad. And I'm sure that as you've been watching our show, we'd love to talk about this as often as we can for our own self-awareness, for our own education, so that we know how we can be part of the fight against human trafficking. And here to educate us about this is Hennes Doltze. He's on the front lines in the fight against human trafficking on the advisory team of Defend Dignity. This is an initiative to end commercial and sexual exploitation in Canada. Thank you so much for being with us, Hennes. We really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you for having me, and it's great to have a conversation about this important topic.
Yes, well, you're part of the advisory team of Defend Dignity. So tell me, why did you get involved in the fight against human trafficking?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have to go back a couple of years, and I was actually working at the front lines here before I joined Defend Dignity, working with men actually who had been arrested either for committing violence against their partners or for being involved in prostitution on the buying side. And then when I joined Defend Dignity in 2020, it really was a natural progression for me to have this work done on a national level and to really focus on the advocacy as well. And so I feel very passionate about justice, about faith and action. And this is something that as Defend Dignity moves forward, we all want to do more of. And so we're really excited about the initiatives that we can take to educate people, to get people involved, to highlight the injustices that are continued to be committed through human trafficking and sexual exploitation.
Well, take me back just a little bit. Like you said, you've been involved with, men and on the front lines of this. Like, what was that all about? Like, is this part of your work? Was this just a personal passion? What was your role in that?
Yeah, I think it was something that I didn't really choose. I think it really came to me when I started working at the Salvation Army here in Winnipeg in 2013. And at that point, I was very new to this whole topic, not understanding a whole lot. But as I dove deeper and as I was working with men who had been arrested for this offense, really understanding the impact that this has on people, why men do this, why they continue to exploit, but also developing some level of compassion while holding them accountable to say, okay, the activity that you're part of is really an exploitative industry, and I think you have a role to play in this to change that. So engaging with men it has been really something that I very much appreciate, because I think that's where we can really make the difference around the demand and challenging that as well.
Wow, that's so interesting. In a nutshell, what is Defend Dignity then all about?
Mm-hmm. So Defend Dignity exists to end all forms of sexual exploitation in Canada. So this would include massage parlors, prostitution on the street or online, escort services, because we feel that men and women and children are created in the image of God, and sexual exploitation really diminishes that dignity and is a form of injustice that we feel as a Christian organization we need to address, and we need to stand up for the vulnerable and for people that are struggling, that are often poor and traumatized. And so we focus on advocacy, we focus on survivor supports, as well as education and awareness.
Yeah, it's an amazing initiative and organization as I looked on your website and discovered more about it. Now, you say that there is a side of trafficking that often goes unaddressed, and that's the buyer demand side. And you've been working with men from your background, even before you are now with Defend Dignity. Tell us about this and why this is so important to address that side of it.
Right. Well, I think in the last couple of years, a lot of work has been done to educate people on, what are some of the vulnerabilities? Why do women, predominantly women, end up in the sex trade? But we haven't really focused on the demand side. Why is this happening in the first place? And that really has to do with the market that is being created through men. And it is predominantly men. If there wasn't a demand, if there wasn't men willing to pay or exchange something for sexual services, we wouldn't have the scope of the problem that we do. So I think engaging with men, holding them accountable, using the legal aspect of it, but also helping them to heal themselves, because often they themselves don't even understand the impact that this has on their own families, on their lives, on their own value. As much as it damages other people. So I think moving forward, that will be really, really crucial to address the man, to challenge it, and to provide services that are focused on this area of sexual exploitation and human trafficking.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right. We've had a few stories and interviews on our show. We address this often, and often we're not telling the side of the men. And I thank you for what you're doing. And I thank you for bringing that to greater awareness and to helping men, because men and women need to be freed of this. So, what is one thing that our viewers, because sometimes we hear about human trafficking, we feel overwhelmed, we don't know what to do. So, what's one
Right.
thing that our viewers and us can do in response to the sexual exploitation that's happening across Canada?
Yeah, a very good question. So I would say two things. First of all, continue to pray for this. And the second one is if people want to directly get involved, they can go to our website, defenddignity.ca. And there's a lot of information, a lot of resources that are also directly engaging people in the advocacy part. So you can reach out to your MP with a couple of clicks, takes 2 minutes to say the prostitution laws that are currently under review need to be in place. And the demand needs to be criminalized. So that's one thing that is very easy. You can contact us directly through the website if you want more information, if you want to become part of a newsletter list, but also the prayer list as well.
Well, that's really good because we really need to start at the highest levels of government and the lawmaking. And would it be good as well to be aware of what it looks like around us in our neighborhood so we become more aware that this is not something that's happening far away, but close up? Is that something
That,
that we can do?
Absolutely, absolutely. And also, if you want to do some research, or you can reach out to us as well. We have a lot of connections throughout the country. So if you're in a place and we have somebody that we are partnering with, then absolutely inform yourself. Reach out to your local MP, to an organization that works in the field. So we really want to take collaborative approaches to this topic, because it really is so huge that not one agency can do this all by itself. So
That's right.
absolutely.
That's right. Well, thank you so much for educating us today, for making us aware of what Defend Dignity is doing. God bless you and all who are working in that organization.
Thank you very much, and I thank your viewers as well, and you for the interview.